All right, we are going to talk about 8 questions that you should be asking or thinking about before you buy a condo down here in the Keys, more specifically Marathon. So stay tuned. We're going over questions that you should be asking before you purchase a condo down here in Marathon. My name is Amy. I work at Coldwell Schmitt Real Estate here in Marathon. And if you are looking to buy a condo, we would love to help you. My information is below. Alright, so let's get into it. I've got my little cheat sheet here, so if you guys see me looking down, that's because I've got my notes. Alright, so the first question, or the first thing you should be thinking about is insurance. You need to be asking, is insurance included in the HOA fee? So a lot of the times, the insurance is the flood and the wind, so they call it the building insurance, is included in the HOA fee. However, the content or the inside insurance is not. So usually if you buy a condo, you're gonna have to get that extra policy. Now, some condos, it's a plane going by, it's a little loud. That's what happens when you live by the airport. Alright, now some of the condos though in Marathon, the insurance is not included in the HOA. So you need to be aware you're gonna have to pay that extra fee. So you're gonna have your taxes, and then you're gonna have your HOA fee, and then possibly your insurance fee. So just always ask, is the insurance covered in the HOA or is it not? So you're aware of the fees and things that you're gonna have to pay. The second thing you need to talk about or ask about is parking. Most of the condos in Marathon have enough parking for at least one car. Some have 2 cars, and then you have to park like single file, one behind the other. Most of the condos do not have trailer parking, so if you want a place for your boat and a trailer, you're not going to really be able to do that with a condo. You're going to have to find a different accommodation for that. A couple of the condos here do have garages, but that's very limited. So always figure out how many parking spaces do you have. Typically it's not too big of a problem down here. Some condos, only have a couple of spaces. So just always ask about parking and guest parking as well. If there's extra spots for guests, sometimes they have them labeled, but during like mini lobster season and whatnot, the parking lots can get pretty full. You're gonna wanna ask about dockage. So a lot of the condos, they get listed in the MLS and you see them and it comes with a dock. But then when you dig a little bit further, you learn that, the dock is first come, first serve, or there's actually a waiting list for the dock. So sometimes there is a dock there, but there's not enough dockage for all the people in that condo to actually have a dock. So you need to find out if there is a space available. Typically, on a lot of the condos, the dockage is an extra fee, maybe $250 to $300 a year. So it is actually really affordable and pretty cheap to get a dock with your condo down here. So just remember, ask about dockage, see if it's first come, see if there's a waiting list, and then of course see how much, how big of a dock or boat you could put there, because some of them only allow like 25-foot boats, others can be a little bit longer. Alright, up next is asking about a pool. I'd say 90% of the condos do have pools down here, but some are heated and some are not. I really like the ones that are heated in the winter. It gets cold, for down here in the Keys, and it is nice to get into a heated pool in the winter time. So it's just a nice little feature, I would ask about it. Alright, rental, that's a next big question that you need to ask about. So every condo makes up its own rules. So here in Marathon, we do allow weekly rentals. Marathon and Key Colony are like pretty much the only place in the Keys that allow weekly rentals. But the condos, they make their own rules. So some condos are weekly, some are 30 days, some are never, some are 2 times a year. So each condo is a little bit different. So you're gonna have to ask, what is the rental policy at this condo complex? It's really important, especially if you're trying to buy something for investment. We actually did a whole video on the top investment properties for condos in Marathon, so just check out that video and you can learn about which ones are our top picks. Alright, so we're going to talk about pets. So pets in condos generally don't really mix that well. Some of the condos will allow pets. I would say the majority, if they do allow pets, it's going to be for a small pet. Maybe one pet, 25 pounds or less is typically what we see. Once in a while we see, you know, maybe 2 pets, but usually they're for small pets. So if you want to bring your pets down here and you know you're not going to leave the house without them, maybe you should not get a condo, maybe go a different way, because you know pets and condos, like I said, they don't really mix. Alright, the next thing you need to ask about is the washer and dryer. Yeah, not all the condo units here have washers and dryers in them. A lot of them have like a community room, and then they're going to charge like quarters. So you're going to need a stack of quarters to do your laundry. Some of the condos are allowing you to start putting washer and dryers in their units. It's just going to depend again on the condo and their rules and their regulations. So just ask about washers and dryers. You're going to want to know that. Alright, next thing you got to ask about is the financials. You're going to want to get a copy of the budget and also the minutes, so you get an idea of what's happening at that condo. You want to talk to the president, kind of get an idea, just really, you know, talk to everybody there so you know what you're getting involved in. You also want to check if there's any special assessments at the time you're purchasing, and if they have any special assessments planned. Sometimes they have things planned out, and you know in the next 3 months they're going to be putting in a brand new dock and everybody's going to be assessed $20,000. That's something you're going to want to know before you get into buying that condo. The other thing is, now with the new laws, because of the Miami collapse condo, there's new like safety inspections and reserve studies that need to be done. So you're gonna want to get your hands on a copy of those, and those are for, you know, 3-story condo buildings, which we do have a lot of. So I know a lot of the condos are working on getting those documents done and those inspections and requirements handled. It's a slow process, especially here in the Keys. I think there's only one guy that we know of in the Keys that actually can do those inspections and write those reports. But anyway, those are the 8 questions that you should be asking or thinking about before you buy a condo down here. Don't worry about writing them down. I mean, you can if you want, but we put a link below. We put a little guide together for you, so you can just go to that link and you can get all these questions and our answers, and just download that, and then they have them there for you. If you're thinking about buying a condo down here, or you have questions about the market, again, my name's Amy. We're Amy and Tom. We're at Coldwell Banker, and we'd be glad to earn your business. Feel free to call us anytime, and don't forget to hit the like button. See ya.